Coming up today on Coasting into Retirement, healthcare, long-term care, and housing are almost sure to be big-ticket expenses for you in retirement. But will they be your biggest expense? Today, Gary Marriage not only helps you identify what could be your largest retirement expense, but also ways to help you reduce that cost. Plus, you'll walk away from today's show with a list of your next steps to start making a difference for your financial future. Coasting into Retirement starts right now.
Retirement is more than a destination. It's a journey that starts with a dream, a vision for the way you want to live, recharge, and give back. To get there, you need a plan to reach your retirement goals. Gary Marriage of Nature Coast Financial Advisors has the strategies you need to plan for income, taxes, healthcare, and more. For years, Gary has been helping families plan for a successful retirement. Welcome to Coasting into Retirement with Gary Marriage.
Thanks for joining us today. I'm Amy Sharp alongside Gary Marriage. The last thing you want is to make a misstep with the money you've worked so hard to save over the years. Today, we want to help you identify one of your biggest expenses in retirement and share some strategies to help you keep more of your hard-earned money in your pocket. That is, of course, the goal every time we sit down here to try to give some retirement-related news. Thank you for joining me once again, Gary.
Yeah, thanks for having me here again.
Okay, so if it is not things like healthcare, long-term care, or maybe housing, what could be our biggest expense when it comes to retirement? And I think this is one that maybe people might not guess right off the top.
Unless it's April. And then they figure it out.
Then it's very crystal clear.
Yeah, so what am I talking about? I'm talking about taxes, right? So it's usually people's biggest expense that they have that they don't notice. Especially if you're a business owner, you definitely know what your biggest expense is, and that, you know, a lot of times they'll think it's their employees or something, but it's actually taxes. And yeah, depending on how you have your accounts structured is how much of that's actually going to be going out too at the same time.
Let's talk about how some of the different sources of retirement income are taxed. Break it down for us as best as possible. We might not even have enough time in this show to get through all of it, but give us an idea of what that looks like.
So like Social Security, people ask all the time, is my Social Security taxed or is it not? Well, it depends on how much other income you're taking on top of it as well. But you could be taxed as much as 85% of your Social Security benefits, especially if you're taking large amounts or distributions out of your IRAs and things like that too. That's another thing I want to talk about is, you know, when you get to that age of, right now, currently it's 73, is when they force you to take about 4% every single year out of your IRAs. A lot of times when you first come to 73, then you find out now you're going to start maybe paying taxes on your Social Security benefits because now you're taking more income, right? Obviously, we all know the best income to have is tax-free income. That's the money that you're taking out of those accounts, and you're not paying any income taxes at all. So that might be your Roths. It might be some life insurance policies. People take money out of those. They'll take withdrawals or take loans, if you will, out of those policies. They're getting that money out tax-free. It's non-reportable. Never shows on the tax return. Then we got our other money that I think we talked about IRAs, how all that's basically taxable. Then you'll have like your investment accounts where you just get like a 1099 on it. You may be touching that money or not, right? It may sit on there. Money that you have in the bank, like a CD, all right? You're not touching that money at all. You're not using it for income, but you're just letting it sit there because you're getting a great 4% rate of return on that money. But then you're paying taxes on it every year. You're getting a 1099, all right? And then the last one too is like the investment income where you're paying taxes on your dividends that you're probably getting there as well. And you may be taking that money or not too.
So I think what I'm hearing from you is that it's not totally out of our control how this works. When we can be proactive, we need to be proactive when it comes to taxes and our retirement income. What else do we need to be thinking about?
Well, that's right. So when you're working, you have just your income. That's it, right? Just your normal income because you're working. When you retire, that's where we get to actually structure your income. So that's where I get to sit down with people. I'm like, you know, how much are you paying in taxes? What's your tax return look like? And I'm like, okay, and then look at it and go, you should be paying a lot less than this. What's going on? And then I look and I'm like, oh, you're pulling all your money out of your 401k or your IRA every single year. That's why you're in a higher tax bracket. Look at all these other accounts you have. So instead of taking $40,000 a year out of this one bucket, how about we take $10,000 a year out of that bucket, take another $10,000 a year out of this bucket, maybe $20,000 a year out of this bucket, and look what our tax return is, and go, oh my gosh, we just saved $3,500 or $4,000 or $10,000. It just depends on the client. But yeah, it's how about you're taking your income and how it's structured. That's why I love planning, because it's going to show us like what we should be doing.
That's why there, I mean, yeah, there really shouldn't be too many questions because you can kind of lay it out for us. You can kind of give us a roadmap, if you will, of what's coming up. We shouldn't have too many surprises around the corner, or am I wrong on that?
That's true, but then we got to look at too, like our tax laws are always changing, right? Constantly changing. So nothing's ever written in stone. So about every 4 years, we have something else change. And, you know, there's a bunch of things that are up to debate right now that possibly could be changing. Maybe we'll never have taxes on our Social Security. I don't know. You know, I'm just hoping I may get Social Security one day.
Those conversations when people come in and sit down with your team, are they a little more educated than maybe what you used to see when you started out in this business? Are people staying on top of it? Because you mentioned the tax, you know, we don't know what the tax law is going to be 6 months from now. Right. We have a general idea that taxes will be going up, but overall, it is about educating ourselves and staying up to beat with it.
Yeah, it's true. So, yeah, I still have the same people. I have some people come in that don't have any idea about how their taxes are, you know, or why they're paying taxes. And I have others that are like, you would think they're a retired CPA or an accountant that's coming in too. But yeah, again, it's just, you know, one of the ways that you can make sure your money's going to last for as long as you need it is make sure you're not paying too much in fees or too much taxes on that money. And just making sure you have an income strategy set up properly to make sure that you're taking money from the right buckets at the right time. And I'm not saying that you need to set this up and just have it the same for the rest of your life because things change, right? So this account right here might be growing really well. And let's say it's been growing very well, like 8, 9, 10, 12% every single year. This account over here is only growing at like 1% or nothing. Well, which account do you want to take money from? Well, it kind of depends where your taxes are, right? So maybe you want to take some from this before you take any money out of this because this is your best bucket. This one's growing the best. But you got to look at taxes too. This bucket might be fully taxable. This bucket right here might be tax-free. Hopefully what we want to do is get that bucket all tax-free.
So stick around. We'll have more with you coming up. Strategies to help you be proactive on taxes to help reduce their impact on your retirement. And later, Gary is in the hot seat once again for Retirement IQ. Stay tuned.
More is usually better, but not when it comes to taxes in retirement. Tax rates might seem high right now, but these could be the lowest rates you ever see again. Think how that could impact your retirement. The good news is there are strategies you can take advantage of now to help lower your tax bill later and help get the most out of what you've saved for retirement. But don't delay. Time is limited and rates could rise soon. So act now to get your free tax analysis. Help uncover hidden savings and optimize your income in retirement. Take action and claim your free tax analysis now.
You've heard it before. Measure twice, cut once. When it matters most, it pays to take that second look. What about your retirement? When creating a plan to help increase your spending power, reduce taxes, build a legacy, and create income you can't outlive, another set of eyes might be your sharpest move. Take advantage of our free second opinion service. We'll see what you have and tell you what you might be missing, all at no cost to you. Reach out now for yours today.
They say knowledge is power. Whatever you're doing, whatever your goals are, you'll probably never say you know too much. The same is true with retirement. The more you know, the more prepared you'll be for everything in store. And we've made it easy to get started. This free offer is packed with knowledge to help answer some of retirement's biggest questions. It's our gift to you. Don't miss out on this opportunity. Act now and claim your free offer today.
Welcome back, everyone. I'm here once again with Gary Marriage. He is the founder of Nature Coast Financial Advisors. Today, we're helping you, our viewer, understand the potential impact of taxes on your retirement. And we want to talk now a little bit more. I know you've touched on strategies and things like that. I think it's always good to kind of take it a little deeper, help us be more proactive. All the words that we've been hearing about recently, you know, looking in the mirror, you know, looking forward instead of in the rear view mirror, that type of thing. Through the windshield, I guess, is another phrase to look at it. There's just a lot of different ways we can do that. And we can take responsibility alongside our advisor to make sure that we're going to be okay. And that's the big question so many people have when they get to retirement. Right. Will I be okay? Will my income last me throughout this phase of life?
Yeah, because most of them, I think the people, you know, even listening and watching the show today have never sat down maybe with somebody, never had everything laid out in front of somebody at one time. to get that answer, to know that they're going to be okay. And, so if you just get the paperwork together for us and bring it in, and we can scan everything. I have tons of software. Some stuff has AI and some stuff doesn't. Some stuff still works on the old school way of us like going through it and calculating and stuff. But really, people just want to know they're going to be okay. And are they going to be able to afford the retirement and the trips and the vacations that they want to do? And it's like, yes. And if you just do these simple things, it's going to be great for you. Let's reduce the fees. Here's how much you're paying in taxes. Here's how we can reduce that. Oh, the money sitting over here is not making that great a return because it's sitting at the bank earning 0.1. Or you have it buried in the backyard or whatever it is that you got going on.
There's always that. You never know.
Yeah. So, but it's just identifying those areas, and then just make sure, God forbid, if something happens to you, how you're going to pay for like long-term care or, a spouse passing away or something like that, where you're going to get the income from, and, are you going to be okay with that too? But that's all a part of planning that's in there.
I want you to really take us through the beginning of this retirement scan.
Retirement CAT scan.
CAT scan, yes. This retirement CAT scan, how this came about, how you implement it with each one of your clients, and how they're going to know, how are they seeing the process unravel, if you
Right.
not unravel, but develop, if you will.
Well, 20 years ago, I didn't have big screen TVs in the offices.
Right. Talk about all the technology that we have now.
Technology has changed a lot. I remember having like a printer and my laptop in the car, and I was going to people's houses all the time, and I had to find this inverter, and I'd have to crank up my car just so I could print out applications and stuff in the trunk of my car.
We've come a long way.
Oh, thank you. We've come a long way, though.
We've come a long
so,
way.
So we identify all these things like on big screen TVs in our offices, and clients can literally sit there and watch me walk through all this stuff. So we talk about your income, your expenses, your assets, and then we can just tweak it from here and there. When should I take Social Security? We'll help you identify that and show you this is what it looks like if you started at age 62. This is what it looks like if you started at 67. And this is what it looks like if you started at age 70. Because if I ask everybody this question, when you should activate Social Security, half people will tell you, activate it as early as you can because the government's running out of money and I don't know if I'm ever going to have Social Security. The other half will say, oh, wait till age 70 because it grows at 8% every single year. It's fine. We're just going to find out what's the best for you and do it with math and then do it on these big screen TVs as well.
Love the big screen TV.
Oh,
I mean, you can't make it any more clear at that point.
Yeah.
We often go to get a scan when something is wrong.
Yeah.
We go to the doctor to get a scan when they sense that something's wrong. They need a deeper look into that issue.
Yep.
How often do we need to have our retirement CAT scan redone or brought into focus for us again, or is it a one and done type of thing?
It can be, and it's just like our health, right? Most ladies go to the doctor more than guys do.
Yes.
And I'm the first to admit that as well. But yeah, I like doing them at least quarterly. Because things happen, and sometimes people get married, people get divorced, and then we have different market volatility. We have tax changes that are going on. We have sometimes new administrations that are taking over. But I think quarterly works out very well for a lot of my clients because it's not just once a year. It's like you saw me once, and then 12 months later or 13 months later, you're going to see me again. I mean, there's a long time frame of going, oh my gosh, I don't know if we're going to be okay, or because it seems like something's always going on quarterly in the world or the economy, or this is going on, or we're at war with this company or country or whatever's going on. But I think quarterly reviews are great, and just let people know you're okay. Or if something comes up, call us, and then we come in and we talk to you, or we do it on Zoom. I have a lot of clients doing things on Zoom, and I love Zoom. I've had to build studios in my offices now to help people.
Yeah, we've all
get stuff.
become so much more comfortable with the Zoom, and if you're not feeling well, or if you have an appointment, you want to drive and get in traffic.
I don't have to fly as much anymore because of Zoom. It's awesome.
Yeah, I love that. Anything else we need to be thinking about, and how this all fits into that overall plan, that scan once we get that done?
I just, again, just talking about, the way you take money out. I think that's the biggest, hurdle or mistake I see a lot of people doing is they're taking money from the wrong buckets and they're hurting their best bucket a lot of times too. So, they're taking money out of the one bucket that's paying them the most, and then they're eroding that, where they have other money sitting over here that's making absolutely nothing. And that's the money they're going to live on next, but it hasn't been keeping up with inflation, or, the cost of everything we've been touching lately is it's almost doubled. Now, I know some things are coming down, but we got to make sure this money lasts for as long as we need it.
And you mentioned different administrations just before we have to go to break here. We don't need to worry every time there is new, or maybe we do,
Right.
but our plan, once we have that plan in place,
Yeah.
we shouldn't have to worry about a different administration coming through.
So we talk
Changes
about
could come, but
yeah, we show them like here's the risk. So again, if we have your statements, we can plug in all the accounts you have, all the stocks you have, all the mutual funds, however your money is invested. We can put this all in this software, and then we can run scenarios. And I can say, here's what would happen if your money was invested, with us during COVID and the accounts that you had, and this is how much it would go down. And then if we're, like I have a great advisory team, and what they do is they like to take your risk, cut it in half, and see if we can get the same return, if not better than they're getting. That's awesome. So if you've never had anything done like that, that's something worth discussing with us as well. But it's all about the risk and making sure you're not going to run out of money, and make sure you're always going to have it when you need it.
So much more coming up with you, Gary. Thank you so much. Great insights as always. Straight ahead, Gary is in the hot seat for Retirement IQ. We love this segment. And later, what are some simple, actionable steps you can take to help improve your financial future today? Gary has your checklist challenge. Stay with us.
In life, it's good to know what you have to work with. Knowing how many nails you have before building that birdhouse. Knowing how much sugar you have before starting to bake the cake. But do you know how much income you'll be able to count on in retirement? Retirement savings are one thing, but knowing how those savings can turn into income is another. Are you confident you know what your retirement income will look like? Call our team and get a free income analysis today. We can show you what you might expect for income in retirement. Find out now so you won't have to wonder later. Call for your free analysis today.
They say knowledge is power. Whatever you're doing, whatever your goals are, you'll probably never say you know too much. The same is true with retirement. The more you know, the more prepared you'll be for everything in store. And we've made it easy to get started. This free offer is packed with knowledge to help answer some of retirement's biggest questions. It's our gift to you. Don't miss out on this opportunity. Act now and claim your free offer today.
More is usually better, but not when it comes to taxes in retirement. Tax rates might seem high right now, but these could be the lowest rates you ever see again. Think how that could impact your retirement. The good news is there are strategies you can take advantage of now to help lower your tax bill later and help get the most out of what you've saved for retirement. But don't delay. Time is limited and rates could rise soon. So act now to get your free tax analysis. Help uncover hidden savings and optimize your income in retirement. Take action and claim your free tax analysis now.
And now it is time to put our knowledge to the test with this week's Retirement IQ. Always a fun segment. Are you ready for this, Gary?
I'm ready. You sneak some things in here sometimes now, so
I'm going to warn you, there are a couple quirky ones in here this time. I feel like every once in a while we give you some softballs. This is maybe something that maybe our viewers are not going to even...
I don't get to see these beforehand either now, too. So
no, absolutely
see how this
not.
goes here.
Okay, true or false? We'll start with this one. It's pretty easy. Social Security is a tax-free source of income in retirement.
Yeah, well, don't we wish?
We wish.
Is it that way for all y'all too? Now, I know they're trying to change it that way. And maybe by the airing of this show, we'll have all the Social Security benefits tax-free. But yeah, it just depends on how much income you're getting right now and how much of your Social Security is actually going to be taxed going forward too.
Could go up to 85%?
Yes.
Is that correct?
Yeah. Or it could be all tax-free though too. Just kind of depends on you and where the whole administration's going with it.
A lot of different scenarios for this
That's
one. Okay, this next one, neither one of us knew a lot about this, so I'd be curious if our viewers were in the conversation with this, if they would know. This is true or false. California first imposed the jock tax against athletes from other states. This was in 1991 after Chicago beat Los Angeles in the championship. This is the NBA championship.
Okay.
What do you know
Sounds
about
good.
this?
I don't.
It's
I
true
don't
or
really know
false?
much about the
It's-
jock.
You can't. It's 50-50.
Well, if it's a tax from California, it's probably true, right?
It
Does
is
that
true.
seems like they have more taxes than anybody else.
It is true. And then
Guessed right.
Yeah, very good.
Weigh
And
out your options.
Illinois enacted a similar law to tax players who came to Chicago, and it didn't take long before other states followed suit. So I feel like this is something we maybe should have known a little bit more about. I think it's interesting to hear little quirky laws like that
Oh,
that we're
there's so
not
many.
familiar with. But
Don't we pay enough taxes?
Well, this is a situation where they found another opportunity. They found
Exactly.
another opportunity, Gary.
Yeah.
Okay, another true or false for you. West Virginia charges a safety fee on top of a regular sales tax when you buy fireworks.
I think that's true, right?
I think it's great.
Yeah.
True is
Yeah.
is probably what a lot of states should be doing.
Right. Yeah.
It is a 12% safety fee in addition to the sales tax rate. The revenue goes to the state's Fire Protection Fund, obvious, and Veterans Facility Supporting Fund.
Oh, that's cool.
When you think about what can go wrong with I'm sure you've never had any of those instances when
We've
you
seen-
were a child
oh, never.
with fireworks.
See my hand like walk around like this? No, no, we've seen those videos just like on Instagram and stuff, like people doing all
Yeah.
kinds of wild stuff with fireworks,
A
right?
fun night of fireworks can go wrong
Yeah.
very quickly. So this is, protecting. This is probably a good, smart thing. Okay, one last question for you. This is also actually a true or false.
Okay.
The IRS tax code is nearly 10,000 pages long. Good
Nearly,
night of reading.
almost, or more? It's more than
I said
that.
nearly.
Oh yeah, it's no. It's
What?
There's more than that.
How many?
A lot more.
How many pages?
Oh my gosh, what's today? It's probably 50,000, 60,000 pages.
You're getting there, 75,000 pages.
There
And
you go.
that's when you include the U.S. tax code, federal tax regulations, and the official tax guidance, which is all just a night of good reading when it comes to taxes. We've spent a lot of time talking about taxes
I know, and
today.
I don't have all those pages memorized by now either. 75,000 pages. Can you believe that?
I would like a raise of hand of how many people in this world actually have read the entire tax code.
I know.
But you've read enough.
I have,
And
yeah.
that's what really, as we stand here, the conversation of taxes can come
Yeah.
up in quirky little things like this even.
That's why we have accountants, we have CPAs that work with us too, because I mean, honestly, I'll tell people all the time, I don't have all the answers, but I got a lot of solutions to things, but I obviously back them up with either their CPA or accountant or the ones we have too, because I mean, this stuff is always changing. It's all written in pencil. So they just erase it, add some more in there,
You've
add some
said
more.
that a few times.
Yeah, a
I
couple
think you might
times.
be right on that, actually. All
lot.
right. Thanks so much. It's always fun. I love these questions, and we'll do this again soon. Thank you, Gary. Still to come, you'll learn some of the simple steps you can take today to potentially help you improve your situation, because how useful is knowledge without action? Stay tuned.
They say knowledge is power. Whatever you're doing, whatever your goals are, you'll probably never say you know too much. The same is true with retirement. The more you know, the more prepared you'll be for everything in store. And we've made it easy to get started. This free offer is packed with knowledge to help answer some of retirement's biggest questions. It's our gift to you. Don't miss out on this opportunity. Act now and claim your free offer today.
You've heard it before. Measure twice, cut once. When it matters most, it pays to take that second look. What about your retirement? When creating a plan to help increase your spending power, reduce taxes, build a legacy, and create income you can't outlive, another set of eyes might be your sharpest move. Take advantage of our free second opinion service. We'll see what you have and tell you what you might be missing, all at no cost to you. Reach out now for yours today.
In life, it's good to know what you have to work with. Knowing how many nails you have before building that birdhouse, knowing how much sugar you have before starting to bake the cake. But do you know how much income you'll be able to count on in retirement? Retirement savings are one thing, but knowing how those savings can turn into income is another. Are you confident you know what your retirement income will look like? Call our team and get a free income analysis today. We can show you what you might expect for income in retirement. Find out now so you won't have to wonder later. Call for your free analysis today.
Thanks for joining us today on Coasting into Retirement with Gary Marriage. And what's important today is we had this conversation about taxes. And a lot of times, coasting into retirement, it doesn't feel like you're coasting sometimes when it comes to taxes, because it feels like it can be a really bumpy road. But that's what you're here for. You've taken us through a lot of strategies. I know you're going to summarize for us in just a few moments. We always say this. I think it's just fun to say, knowledge is power, and that's what we try to give to our viewers each and every week that we sit down together.
Yeah.
So kind of summarize this for us, this idea of really looking forward about taxes.
Yeah, I think that's where, hopefully people have learned today is like there's so much with it, and we all know that, but it's really identifying what you already have. Where is your income sources coming from? And it's, I wish I could just say everybody's exactly the same and this is how you do it from going here to there, but it's not that. And I'm glad it's not, because my job would be really boring though too, because everybody would be just getting the same stuff. But, when is it that you're retiring? What structures or what things do you have in place for income? Whether that's Social Security, pensions, things like that too. Where's your money allocated? Got to make sure we're getting a good rate of return on it. Hopefully you're not paying a ton of fees on those accounts too. Most people have, again, no idea how much they're paying in fees. So let's identify that. Is there something we can do as far as your income sources to take it at different times of the year to make you pay the least amount of taxes going forward? I love the things we do. We talk about taxes a lot. We do this throughout the year. It's not just something that we talk about around April, because that's like tax preparation. That's when you're filing your taxes. So what we're doing throughout the year, we're talking about taxes all the time, but how much you should be taking out of your IRA now and convert it to a Roth. Taxes are about to go down now. It's like, okay, what should we be doing? Maybe we should be pulling more money out of our IRAs and converting that over to a Roth. Maybe you've lost money in the market and your account has went down. What a great time to do a Roth conversion, because your account balance is here now. Unless it's, before it was up here, if you do a Roth conversion, well, you got to pay all these taxes. Well, now your account balance has gone down here. Well, now we're going to just pay a little bit of taxes when we convert that over. Now it's going to come back tax-free. Huge win, okay? So depending on the year, there's all kinds of changes, and I can sit here literally for hours and talk to you about all the things we do, but I just like having fun with this stuff, and making sure people are going to be okay, and just addressing any concerns that you have.
That's what I think is interesting when I'm sitting here next to you, and I know our viewers sense it as well. Your passion, first of all, for what you do, and the team as well has that same passion, but also just having fun with taxes. I mean, right?
Yeah. Oh, it's exciting. Yeah.
We don't think that.
No,
but
not
to
at
have
all.
someone on our side who is excited about taxes, about eliminating taxes from your portfolio, and that's what we're trying to get across here.
I tell you what, when
We've
we
got
show
you.
somebody they're going to save $30,000, $40,000, $50,000 in taxes,
The banner day.
and we're showing them how much they're going to save on that, and they go, well, I'm going to tell you what, we're having really fun conversations about taxes. They're like, oh my gosh. And I joke with them sometimes too. I'm like, you have to give me half. Right?
I mean, maybe it's
yeah, but
worth
there's so many things, and I have lists and lists of ways that you can, get tax deductions or ways to structure money, especially if you're giving money to charities, things like that too. I have people all the time that are giving, $100 a month, easily $100 a month to churches or charities. How much of a deduction do you get? $600, but you're giving out $1,200 a year. Well, let me show you how to get $1,200 a year instead of $600. So all kinds of things like that.
Sounds good. All right, great insight as always. Thank you so much, Gary.
Thank you.
The retirement landscape is constantly changing, and Gary and his team, they're here to stay on top of all the latest news so you can spend your time doing what you love with the people who matter most to you. For Gary and the team at Nature Coast Financial Advisors, I'm Amy Sharp. Have a great week, everyone. We'll see you next time.